Hello, it's Veronica and Naomi, and we want to do a quick video about the Cars films and our general impression of them, as well as an unboxing of this Holly Shiftwell figure that we found at the grocery store for around $4. Yeah, we got it for only around $4, so we didn't pay too much for it. And we got it because it was purple. So we binge watched the Cars films with our doll mommy. Yeah, we did. And our thoughts are, it's a pretty solid Disney Pixar franchise. The storytelling in the first and third films are good for what they are. Especially the first film. Yeah, the first film has the best writing out of the three. It really establishes Lightning McQueen's character. You really get to see him grow as a person, or a car in this case, when he realizes the importance of helping others and caring about people or cars other than himself. And yeah, basically he goes from being an egotistical race car, only cares about winning the Piston Cup, to caring more about those around him and being a more supportive, caring individual. And it's pretty cool. Even though his redemption is kind of a wake-up call, because after some mishaps on the road, he ends up in this small town where he's a nobody and has to work hard. And then he ends up choosing to stay in that small town as his home base for the most part. As well as falling in love with another car named Sally. And several of the characters in this franchise are thought to be in their 20s. Because they're all treated as adults with professions. Yeah. The cars are treated as adults, especially all the main character cars in this franchise. Now, continuing on to the second film, it focuses more on Mater, interestingly enough. So it starts with Mater accompanying Lightning McQueen on this World Cup racing competition. And then Mater accidentally ends up being part of this spy mission with Holly Shiftwell and some other car. So there's that. And then that movie just kind of switches between the main plot of Lightning racing, as well as missing him and having at least a disagreement with him at one point because of miscommunication, and Mater's spy plot where he's helping these other two cars with their spy missions. And he even gets Holly to admit to being his girlfriend at the end of the movie. So yeah, she's essentially Mater's girlfriend who works as a spy. And she also has wings in the movie too, so she has a feature, a technological feature where she could fly and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just really Mater doing spy work and Lightning McQueen doing a big race. It doesn't establish a lot of lore. And from a story perspective, it is the weakest out of the three Cars films. And then the second best one has to be Cars 3. So Cars 3 involves Lightning McQueen realizing that he is getting too old to race and keep up with the younger people. Yeah, basically is him realizing that he is that he's getting old. So he tries this training simulation thing, and it kind of fails for him. Like, he's having trouble adjusting to like this new type of training. And he's frustrated because he cannot keep up with the speed of another car named Jackson Storm. Yeah, he does not like Jackson Storm in this film. And Jackson Storm is another race car with a huge ego who is just not very nice. Like, he's just very entitled and egotistical, and just isn't a very good sport about racing and all that. So basically, with this modern style of racing, Jackson Storm is really thriving. Lightning is jealous. Then there's this trainer whose name is Cruz. So he trains with Cruz for a bit. And then he feels guilty when he can't reach the speeds that, like, he's supposed to be reaching. And then the plot kind of continues to where, like, whenever they're training one time, she mentions that she always wanted to be a racer. So a lot of this movie is him like helping to train Cruz and mentor her. And then they end up winning a race together. And yeah, he ends up retiring, and she ends up being a new racer and quitting her job as a trainer, which is like really cool because she's finally doing something that she likes and enjoys. As for what we rank all the Cars films, the first one gets a 9 out of 10. While it isn't the most standout Pixar film, it's very well done for what it is. The characters feel relatable. The writing is very, very solid. And you really feel for the characters and their situation and their fear of their town being forgotten and Lightning's identity crisis about like what he wants to do with his life. The second one, probably a 6 out of 10 maybe, because it wasn't the worst film ever, but the writing felt weak. The two subplots felt like they weren't as interconnected. And Mater just wasn't as appealing of a character to be a protagonist. Like, Mater was originally written as comic relief in the first film, more so like the supportive best friend, but we feel like he just does not make the best protagonist. And a lot of the movie was him like making all these like silly mistakes and stuff like that. As for the characters other than Mater, they weren't as bad. His relationship with Holly is interesting enough because she does seem confused at first by his affections, and then she eventually comes to be his girlfriend. So yeah. That was cute, but it really doesn't add a lot of lore to the franchise. You don't see Mater grow as a character. It doesn't add a lot of depth to it, so it gets a lower score from us. And the third film, probably an 8 out of 10. Because while the film had some very solid concepts, it did not really feel as interesting in certain regards. More specifically, how it shows Cruz's original over-reliance on technology. The parts where she was over-reliant on technology to the point where she struggled to race in the real world, just you can understand Lightning's annoyance there. Like, you just wanted this character to succeed, but it was easy to get frustrated whenever she, like, just wouldn't. Or whenever she would forget how to function in the real world because she was so used to the simulator and the virtual training stuff. At least she grew in the film, though. And Lightning's arc was really, really good in that movie, so it gets an 8 out of 10. Anyways, let's take a look at the figure. So this is a figure of Holly Shiftwell that we picked up at the grocery store of all places. Her color is purple, and she has green eyes. This is the, like, standard, more basic figure of her. There's the packaging. It's very, very simple. It says Disney Pixar Cars. Some code there. It says her name, Holly Shiftwell. It says there's metal on this thing. It's made by Mattel. It's for ages 3 and up. Yeah, it's a die-cast car, pretty much. And then there's the back of the packaging, which is not very interesting. And then it says as seen in Cars 2. Then it's also promoting a Lightning mimicking Piston Cup figure and a figure of another car from the film. And once again, it reminds you there's metal on this product. Anyways, let's take her out of the package and see what this Cars figure is all about. So we have the figure out of its packaging, and well, it's cute. So its body is made of metal. It has green eyes that stare into your soul. Those are the headlights. Yes. It also has paint on taillights. The wheels turn. The wheels turn, so you can just kind of drive it around because it's a toy car. The bottom is a hard plastic. And it has a Mattel and a Disney Pixar copyright on it. So you know this is an official product. So the car's body is a really nice purple color. It's kind of like Emmy's hair color almost. But yeah, it's a really pretty color. And it's a very simple figure. There isn't much to say about it. It also has little windows. Do we like getting this figure for $4? Yeah. It's pretty. Seriously, some of the female cars in that franchise really are pretty. And we honestly would rate the figure probably a 9 out of 10. Because we really don't see a problem with it. It's a nice figure of the character it represents. It's sturdy, it's substantial. Yeah, it's a very solid toy car. And it's purple, so it matches us. So goodbye, mysterious audience. I love you. Naomi loves you. And that was the video. And we hope you have a good day or good night when you're watching this.